Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Total Body Strength. Today we're going to be doing more of a pull day. So we're going to do upper body and lower body pulling movements. So lots of glutes, lots of back, hamstrings as well. In terms of equipment, we only do need one dumbbell. I always recommend two. I have two today. I actually did grab my second one. You can see it down there. So I have two today. So you can do the lighter weights for the upper body, the heavier for the lower body, or you can start with the heavier ones. And as we get tired, we can bump that down to keep our form. So we're going to do 3 rounds. We're going to do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest / transition time. And I'm going to go ahead real quick running through all of our movements. So we're going to start off here with the bent over row. And we're actually going to alternate here. So we'll do one arm at a time. So feet are going to be hip width apart. Keep that core tight, tuck the pelvis in, push those hips back. One hand comes up towards the butt and then the other hand. So we're going to be alternating here. And we're going to really make sure we're squeezing through the back of the armpit. So that's going to be our first movement. And then we're going to go ahead and do kickstand, Romanian deadlifts. So we'll put all of our weight on one foot, on the other toe, in line with the arch of our foot, and push the hips back and then push the ground away. So we're going to do all on one foot and then we'll do all on the other foot. So that is movement 2 and 3. And then we're going to go ahead and do some bicep curls. So I figured it has been a little bit since we've done that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do regular bicep curls. We're going to have palms up. And then we're going to do a hammer curl and palms together. So regular one, palms up, all the way down, and then facing curling towards those shoulders. So we're going to do that as movement 4. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to do some curtsy lunges here. We're going to alternate. So we're going to go back behind diagonal, come down, push the ground away with that whole foot. Then the other side, making sure those hips are facing forward, coming down and back up. So that is going to be that one. And then we're going to finish out here with some toe touches. So we're going to lay on the ground and you can either do these non-weighted or you can do them with 1 dumbbell or 2 dumbbells, whatever feels comfortable for you. You can even grab a heavier weight if you have it, but whatever feels good. We're going to have our feet in the air, legs as straight as we can get them. Hands above the shoulders. We're going to exhale, use the core, come up and back down. So that is going to be the full circuit for today. So we're going to warm up with some quad rocks first. We're going to be on the hands and knees. We're going to do some quadruped rocks and then some quad rotations. And then we're going to be ready to go. So hands and knees here. Keep that core tight. So bring the butt to the belly button. We're going to inhale, rock back. And exhale, come forward, rocking back. And we can take our knees as wide as we need to. The wider they are, the more it's going to open up those hips. Great job. We're going to do 2 more rock backs here. So really opening up those hips, going down as close to the heels as we can with the glutes. And last one, wherever we're at. And once we finish that last one, we're going to stay on our hands and knees. We're going to take our right hand. We're going to inhale, reach through in between the left arm, left leg. And we're going to exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. And inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And one more, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And we can go ahead and plant that hand back up underneath our shoulder. Same thing on the other side. So we're going to inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And inhaling, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And last one, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And we can go ahead and bring that hand back up underneath our shoulder. We're ready to rock and roll. So we're starting off bent over rows. We're going to alternate, so one arm at a time. Getting a timer ready here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we have both dumbbells here. We're keeping that core tight, so we're going to bring the butt towards the belly button, push our hips back like we're closing a door. One hand at a time coming up. Our hands are staying outside of our legs. So when we come up and down, the dumbbell is kind of dragging across the outside of our quads there. And if we act like we have a piece of paper between our arm and our body, don't let that paper fall, and then drive the elbow up. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we have our kickstand Romania deadlift. So pick whichever foot you want to start with. We're going to do one leg at a time, our opposite foot. We can have it back, forward, whatever, but I like it to be as close to underneath the hip. 3, 2, 1. So all that weight on one foot, push the hips back, push the ground away. Really important to still keep our core nice and tight here. So I like to imagine that we have like a zipper. We're bringing each side of our core together while also pushing that belly button in to the spine. We're really driving the heels. So we're push the hips back like we're closing the door. We got our handful of groceries. We got to close the car door behind us. And then after that door is closed, we're pushing through that heel. 3, 2, 1. So really focusing on that heel drive is going to help engage the glutes versus the back. If we don't do that, we're going to pull up with our back and create some unnecessary back pain or discomfort. Don't even want to say pain. 3, 2, 1. So same thing on the other side, keeping that core tight, push the hips back, push the ground away. We're only going as low as we, let me rephrase this. We want to stop going down when our hips are done moving back. So we're here, we're pushing back. So this is my hips. They're not going to go back any further. So that means I'm done. What happens if the hips are done, but our hands go? When we stand up, that's going to be all the low back. So we're going to overextend, which we don't want to do. We just want it to be in the glutes and hamstrings. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we're doing our hammer curl and bicep curl. Just want to get my other weights because I don't think I'll be able to do very many with the heavier ones. 3, 2, 1. I feel like it was really dark in here. So we're going to do palms forward and then palms in. So it's going to work both of our bicep heads, which, fun fact, if you don't know, there's 2 heads on the bicep muscle, hence bicep. Bi means 2. So it's going to work both of that. The hammer curl is also going to work a little bit more of that forearm muscle, the brachialis, if you want to get technical, if you're curious about it. If you're not curious, then we can just call it the forearm. But we're going all the way down, all the way up. So we want full extension of the arms, which is why I went lighter. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got curtsy lunges, and then we're going to get on the ground for toe touches. We're getting ready. 3, 2, 1. So we're going back, behind, diagonal. Hips are forward. Let me face this way for a minute. This mat is in the way. So when we step back, really important, keep that knee over the second toe, pushing through the heel of our front foot. If you're struggling by pushing off your back leg, my trick that I do with myself, we come down, we lift that back foot off the ground as we stand all the way up. Really driving through that heel. Went down way too fast. If you're feeling it in the back leg, you might be stepping back too far. So now when I feel it in the back leg, 3, 2, 1. All right. On the ground, we got toe touches. And then we're going to do 2 more rounds. And then we'll stretch it out. And we'll be good to go. So laying down on our backs. 3, 2, 1. So toes or heels to the ceiling, whatever works better for you. We're bringing that core together, exhaling, coming up. I also like to imagine if you're sitting here, breathe through a straw and bring that core together and then come up. So we're gonna act like we're breathing through a straw. That's gonna help us get that engagement from the core, bringing those ribs down. Really getting nice and strong through our core here. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. That is round 1. We are done. We're standing on up. We got alternating bent over rows. We're getting started here in 3, 2, 1. So butt to belly button, bring the core together, push the hips back. We're pulling with our back. I like to imagine like we have a plane of glass going all the way across the back, extending out. We want to break the glass with our elbow as we come up, hands staying outside of our legs. And I have a trick here. So if you're pulling and you're feeling it in your forearm, instead of having your thumb outside of the dumbbell, you pull it on this side and it's more like a pull. 3, 2, 1. Versus being here, if we grip it too hard, we're gonna feel that in the forearm. So keep that little trick in mind for our bicep curls as well. Having that looser grip helps us engage the muscles we want to a little bit better. All right, kickstand, RDLs, 3, 2, 1. So push the hips back, push the ground away. I'm gonna face this way for a second. We want our dumbbells to stay in the center. So we're here coming down just like a regular 2-leg Romanian deadlift. I see this too often where we pull the weight over to one side. All that's going to do is hurt this side of the back. Do not want to do that. So we want to keep those weights in the center, driving through the heel. And keeping the opposite foot under the hip. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Definitely feeling like I'm going down too far. So if you start to feel like you're using your back, stop the dumbbells a little bit closer or higher up. 3, 2, 1. So by that, I mean, like really on this one, I don't like to go below my knees with RDLs. I really go like at the bottom of the kneecap and then come back up. And that helps me to make sure that I'm not going too far down and that I'm really feeling it in my hips. So we're really push those hips back, slight bend in the knee. We're not bending the knees the whole time. So again, I also see where we're here, but at this point, when I stand up, I'm gonna feel that in my quads. Only wanna push the hips back. 3, 2, 1. All right. Hammer curls and bicep curls. So again, remembering our little hack, if we want to come out instead of over, that's going to take the forearm out of it. 3, 2, 1. So coming up and turning. So this is where a lighter weight would be very helpful to make sure we're not going to let go of the dumbbells. Or if you are holding it, I call it white knuckling. So we want to be nice and loose here. So when I come to that hammer curl, my thumb is barely around here. If we're white knuckling it here, that's going to be all the forearm. So just little side notes here while we are doing movements that, yes, we're going to be working the forearm, but we don't want that to be that primary driver. 3, 2, 1. Like on that one, we should not feel it more in our forearms than we do in our biceps. If we do, that means we need to loosen that grip. All right, we got curtsy lunges coming up. 3, 2, 1. So like even with curtsy lunges, like if you can see that far, I don't know how easy it is to see. My thumbs are not around, they're on the sides. So I find it helpful, at least for me, to make sure that I am not feeling it in the forearms, or I'm not losing my grip either. So keeping that weight forward, finding the right distance to step back and diagonal, keeping those hips forward, headlights blind the camera on the hips. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got toe touches. And then we got one more round. I think my core is sore from the last 2 days. Just gonna make today interesting. 3, 2, 1. We did lots of core work on Tuesday afternoon. And we're gonna do a lot also this afternoon as well. So if you didn't already know, Thursdays I normally do this and exercise with exos. Today I'm also doing stability and stretch, and then I'm going to teach a core and cardio class instead of John's dance class today. So if you're interested in checking any one of those ones out, we'll do it live, and then the recordings will be up on YouTube. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got one last round. So we're standing on up. We got bent over rows first. But yeah, so we're gonna do lots of core also today. I'm changing stretch and stability, or stability and stretch. 3, 2, 1. We're just gonna do 2 pillar strength classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific to really work on our shoulders, hips, and torso. So adding that into your classes for the week will be helpful, because the stronger our pillar is, or the shoulders, hips, and torso, the easier movements like this are, right? So the stronger our hips are and our torso is, the more weight we can then pull through a bent over row. So definitely join in there, live or on YouTube. 3, 2, 1. So later on, we're going to be doing lots of core work again. So mine is definitely sore after that, and teaching yesterday and Tuesday at 12. Lots of classes this week. All right, 3, 2, 1. Kickstand Romanian deadlifts. So again, even on this one, having that good pillar strength is going to help us be able to work more on the glutes, because everything else is already strong and stable. So the more strong and stable our pillar is, the better every other movement is going to be from that. So always want to focus on the importance of the pillar and the pillar strength. Great job. Finish strong. 3, 2, 1. All right. Same thing coming up on the other leg. And then we'll be halfway done with our last round. So after that, we're gonna do a little bit of stretching when this round ends. We're getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. So once we do all that, we'll cool down, calm the heart rate down. We're definitely gonna do lots of glutes and back stretching. So we're gonna do that figure 4 stretch, and then we'll get ready. If you haven't watched any recordings from the last 2 days, then you don't know what's coming later. But if you have, then you know. We're spelling out beach in today's exercise with exos class. Great job. And then starting either next week or the week after, y'all are going to see Jaden a little bit more. So he'll be teaching the Wednesday, Thursday, 12 o'clock classes. 3, 2, 1. So you'll get a new fresh face for those classes. We're grabbing, if you haven't also grabbing lighter weight for this one, like I have, bicep curls into hammer curls. Getting ready, 3, 2, 1. But as always, if anyone has suggestions for themes, I can also, I know I did 1 or 2 themes in this class, but we could definitely, I can add the same theme for this class next week. So if anyone has any ideas of things that are summer like, we have beach today, we've done heat wave, we did summer, maybe we'll do sunny. Hey, yeah, that's a good one, sunny. Don't know what workouts are good for, let's start with N. So that's gonna give me a good challenge. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got curtsy lunges, and then we're gonna do toe touches. And then, like I said, we're gonna do figure 4. So we're gonna be on our backs for the cool down. All right, we are getting ready. 3, 2, 1. Or maybe we'll do, I feel like we need ooh, carnival might be a good one. I'm just getting an idea because looking outside, they're already setting up for the Moraine County Fair for next week. So maybe next week we'll do a fair theme. We can do cotton candy, do funnel cakes, do animals. Lots of options there. I just need to get more creative with my themes. And then the creativities of the workouts will follow. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. On the ground, on our backs. Finishing out with core. We're getting a little bit of shoulders because we got to have that stability, keep those weights up there. 3, 2, 1. So we're breathing through the straw, lifting up with our core. Another aspect we do need to do to engage the core is press the belly button into the ground. So by doing that, we're activating and engaging our core, and also, like from the pillar aspect, our low back muscles, which is always good to work on strengthening those. We did strengthen them a little bit from our RDLs and the bent over rows. Great job. We're finishing strong. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it for today's workout. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. We're going to go ahead and, like I said, we're going to stay on the ground on our backs. And we're going to go ahead and do the figure 4. So I'm going to leave my left foot on the ground, bringing the right ankle over the left knee. And you can even press on that knee, and if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little extra tension, interlace those fingers and grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin and pull that knee towards the chest. We're going to do some big, deep breaths here. We're breathing in through the nose and into the belly. And then as we exhale, we're sighing away the tension. We're releasing all the stress, even from the upper body. I know sometimes pulling that knee towards the chest, you might feel it in your neck or your shoulders. So I want us to just release that tension. Just picture all the stress and tension leaving your body wherever you feel it the most. You might be feeling this stretch more underneath the glute. You might feel it in the hamstring or the front of the hip. It is all connected. So we're stretching it all out. It's going to help us also relieve some low back tension, / it's also going to help us after working our low back muscles. We're going to go ahead and do one more breath. And after we finish the exhale, we can go ahead and bring the foot towards the ground. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna leave the right foot on the ground this time. We're gonna take the left ankle above the right knee. You can press down on your knee, and if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little extra tension, let's go ahead and interlace those fingers and grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin and pull that knee towards the chest. And this is where you might begin to notice that maybe this leg, you're feeling it differently. So I know for me personally, my other leg, I was feeling it more in the front of the hip. On this leg, I'm feeling it right underneath the glute and that piriformis muscle. So it's definitely, each side is always going to be different, but it's good to kind of take note, notice what feels tight on each side. That can help us kind of target some stretching for maybe the future, or if you go to a stretch break, you can always be like, hey, I need different sides stretched differently. Can definitely help you out with that. It also can help in terms of knowing where we need to strengthen. So for example, my right hip is tight, but also weak, and the left hip is not. And so I know where I need to strengthen on my right side versus the left side. So it's good information our body is giving us. We're gonna go ahead and do one more deep breath here. And after we are done with the exhale, we can go ahead and bring that foot to the ground and then the other foot. And then feel free to stay laying on your side, or you can roll over, I meant on your back, or you can roll over onto your side. But that's going to be all the time for today. So like I said, we got lots of classes coming up today. We also got our regular classes tomorrow. We also are doing summer shred on Slack right now. So if you want to join in, not too late. So you can find those challenges posted every morning. And then all you got to do is do the challenge and leave an emoji, and that's it. So easy peasy. And then don't forget to stay hydrated. It's been very hot, so we got to drink lots of water. Make sure we're getting enough sodium in there too, so that way we can help our muscles and replenish our electrolytes, especially when we are taking a lot of classes or if we're doing anything outside. So there's my hydration tip for the day. But thank you for coming. Nice job, and I'll see you later.